Hey guys, Sudden here again, but you can call me Chip, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the newest update for Fire Emblem Heroes. Now, this one is definitely one we've been waiting for. The refines for the Brave units from a few years ago, and I'm very excited, because obviously Marth was a big one that people were waiting for. Erica, I was very happy to see. Gatekeeper was the one that got all that controversy, but people still love him either way. And of course, Marianne, a big fan favorite as well. Those Braves, as well as a few other refines that we will get into. But yeah, that is a bit later in the video. If y'all are here for just the weapon refines, that is completely cool. You go down in the time bar or the description and skip right on ahead. That's very, very okay. But we are going to talk about the overall stuff for the update first, like we always do, so let's get into that. Oh, weird. It's in day mode for some reason. Where is it? Here it is. Okay. So, the remix for Mirabilis and Hell. This, batch of weapon refines is actually the first one in a long time that I would have had everybody if I didn't use Mirabilis's Fortress Defense res way back in the day. And I feel really bad about that, but she's the only one I don't have from this batch of weapon refines. But either way, I obviously still have what her weapon refine is, but we'll get into that later. First, her remix, Whimsical Dream Plus. Grants another action to target ally, grants attack +6, and neutralizes foes' bonuses during combat to target ally and allies within 2 spaces of target ally for 1 turn. That's pretty good. Inflicts attack -6 on nearest foes within 5 spaces of target ally, and any foe within 2 spaces of those foes through their next actions. Wow. Okay, cool. So, the attack buff and neutralizing foes' bonuses during combat. That's really good. And then the smoke effect, basically. So it's a smoke dance, I guess. Cool. And then shield defense res, which is nice, I think, but it's a B skill, so those usually have Wings of Mercy anyway for dancers, but not bad, not bad. And then Hell, Distant Pressure, which is cool. She comes with Distant Counter, which is nice, and then Distant Pressure, which is also pretty helpful, I guess. It's not insane, but people build her, with, the Mystic boost anyway, and she can survive on 1 HP and all that stuff, so it works very well. Sure. And then Inevitable Death Plus. For each foe within 4 spaces of unit can move to any of the nearest spaces adjacent to that foe, unless space is impassable terrain. That's crazy. Inflicts Spectrum -5 on foes within 2 spaces of unit during combat. If unit speed is greater than foe speed, neutralizes effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, and effects that prevent units follow-up attacks during combat. For each foe within 4 spaces of unit can move to any of the nearest spaces adjacent to that foe. So she can just teleport behind you. Nothing personnel kid kind of deal. That's weird, but also pretty crazy. I wonder how that's going to be on enemy phase and ether raids. Huh. Okay. Well, that's cool, I guess. Sure. Then the Divine Codes. Happy, which I'm very happy for. No pun intended, actually, I didn't mean to say that. But I love Happy. She's one of my favorite units from Three Houses, one of my favorite characters. So that's a merge for me, I guess. And Jill is also pretty good for fodder. With Speed Defense Rain, that's not bad. And then who is Michaelis is in there as well. And yeah, sure. Not bad, not bad. I know Happy has pretty good skills to use, but I will merge her. Yeah, the new weapon refines that we will get to in a little bit. But yeah, I have everyone here. ETU is free. I have all the Brave units, as you saw on my home screen. And then I do have Hell. I do not have Mirabilis, but I will obviously talk about that either way. Very, very cool. New Mementos events, I guess a beach one. Always very cute, always fine. A Bright Shrine, leveling up to 11, so that's cool. New songs being added to the concert hall. Interesting. Okay. Favorite level to 3500, sure. Still don't play Summoner's Duels. Additional heroes. Okay, O'Donnell and Zephia getting added to the Grail pool. Very, very nice. That is going to be it for the. Oh, Zephia's right here. That is going to be it for the overall stuff of the update. Pretty decent stuff. I think it was mainly just the talking about the remixes and the new ephemera codes, which was the biggest part. But yeah, so now that we're past that, let us get into what we've all been waiting for, the weapon refines for the new Brave units. Actually, we'll save them for last. Let's go with these first. We'll go with Itsuki, Hell, and Mirabilis first, just to get them out of the way. Mirage Falchion. Effective against dragon foes, of course. Grants defense plus 3 if unit initiates combat. Grants Spectrum plus X to unit during combat. X equals 4 plus number of allies who have already acted times 3, max of 10. Okay. Pairs very well with the Blade Session. When all these Tokyo Mirage Session units came out, they had those session skills and all that stuff, and that was really unusual. And then we still haven't seen any more Tokyo Mirage Session stuff since. But either way, okay, if foe initiates combat, grants Spectrum plus X to unit during combat. X equals 10 minus number of foes who have already acted times 3. Minimum of 4. Okay. Restore 7 HP to unit after combat. So not bad. I don't think he... Yeah, he definitely didn't have it to that extent. It was just attack defense before. And then max of 7, and then minimum of 3. So those just increased and were made better with the Spectrum, as well as the extra numbers. Okay. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Spectrum plus 4 to unit. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. Not bad. Honestly, there are probably a lot of people who have Itsuki built from back in the day. I don't, but if he's kind of fallen off since, he's actually not too bad. You can definitely make use of him, especially now that Blade Session is a seal. You can make use of him a bit better that way. He can be both player phase and enemy phase really well. So not bad, not bad, not bad. Let's go with Mirabilis next, because I have her here. Let's see. Grants res plus 3 if penalty is active on any foes within 3 columns centered on unit. Inflicts attack defense res minus 4 on those foes during combat. At start of combat, if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% or penalty is active on foe, it inflicts attack and defense minus 5 on foe during combat. Okay, so I guess this is with Mirabilis' combat specifically. Sure. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack defense minus 5 on foe, unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack during combat, and also after combat, if unit attacked, inflicts status on foes within 3 columns centered on unit, preventing counterattacks through their next actions. Oh. Okay, weird. That's pretty strong, I guess, but a lot of people don't really run dancers to attack very often, and I guess if you're using her on player phase, then sure. But I'm pretty sure she's an Anima Blessed unit, so she's more of an enemy phase character anyway. Interesting. I guess the dancers in Ether Raids will go into combat sometimes anyway, so if they do that, then this is a pretty good response for that specifically. It's not bad. It's very niche, but it's not bad at all. Cool. Interesting. And now let's go with Hell's Reaper. Accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1, neutralizes effect against flying bonuses. If foe does not use magic or staff, calculates damage using foe's res. And also, if unit's HP is greater than 1, and foe would reduce unit's HP to 0 during combat, unit survives with 1 HP. If foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 50% at the start of combat, grants Spectrum plus 4 to unit during combat, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. She didn't have the healing before. Wow, she has healing now. Yeah. So the built-in healing would just make her phenomenally better, greatly so. That's really good for her. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, or penalty is active on foe, grants Spectrum plus 4 to unit, deals damage equal to 20% of unit's speed, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40% during combat. Okay. So Yeah, you really do want to invest in her speed, it seems. She comes with distant pressure, so it's definitely a bonus for her. And let's see. That's not bad. She's actually... Let's just give those things to her. I don't use her very often, but I have one, so might as well make the most out of her if I feel like it. But yeah, that's pretty good. Just like even without the rest of the special refine, just the restores 7 HP to unit after combat getting added to her weapon is really helpful for her, especially because her whole deal with living on 1 HP. And then if she would live on 1 HP after combat anyway, she doesn't really take any damage from this because she's already at 1 HP, and it can't kill her. So, wow, yeah, pretty good. Cool. Interesting. Okay, so let's go back to the Brave units from a few years ago, and let's finally get into this. Who should we start with? Let's start with Marth, because he's right in the front anyway. I don't have one built, because the ones I do get, I usually use them for distant pressure and spurn, so luckily I still had one left over. Let's see. Accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1, of course, effective against dragon foes. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Spectrum +5 to unit during combat, and grants effects to unit based on the total value of bonuses on the 3 allies with the highest bonus totals. If greater than or equal to 10, neutralize effects that guarantee foes follow-up attacks, effects that prevent units follow-up attacks, and effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. If greater than or equal to 25, grants an additional attack +5 to unit during combat, and also if a unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 7 HP to unit. Triggers even if 0 damage dealt. And if greater than or equal to 60, and foe initiates combat, a unit can counterattack before foe's first attack. Wow. So what's the value thing again? If unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, grants Spectrum +5 to unit during combat, and grants effects to unit based on the total value of bonuses on the 3 allies with the highest bonus totals. Wow, okay, so they don't even need to be next to him. Jeez, okay. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants Spectrum +X to unit X equals 5 plus highest bonus on each stat between unit and allies within 2 spaces of a unit. Calculates each stat bonus independently, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40% during combat. Huh. So, that's crazy. Kind of working with like how Alir is like now, like you can pair them together very well, and it makes a lot of sense because Marth and Alir have that whole engaged dynamic going, but they bank off each other very well. Wow. Wow. What a paragraph. That's just a pure essay right here. That is so long. Okay, so Marth is insane now, so all those people with +10 Brave Marths have definitely a lot to work with. Okay, let's go with Gatekeeper next, actually. Charging Horn. Grants defense +3, grants attack and speed +5 to allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit during their combat. The following effects will occur during unit's combat based on the number of allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit. If greater than or equal to 1, inflicts attack, res -X on foe. X equals number of allies in the area times 3, max of 9. If greater than or equal to 2, inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack. And if greater than or equal to 3, foe cannot make a follow-up attack. Okay. So again, very good support. Grants defense and res +5 to allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on unit during their combat, and restores 7 HP to those allies after their combat. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, inflicts attack and res -6 on foe, and reduces damage from foe's first attacks by 20% of unit's defense during combat, and restores 7 HP to unit after combat. So, Gatekeeper doing his thing, granting Spectrum +5 technically, to all allies within 3 rows or 3 columns centered on him. So, okay, so even just if he's in the back line, if he's like right behind your ally, you are prospering. You are, wow. Okay, yeah, these Braver finds are pretty insane. Okay, I'm gonna end with Erica because, as a Sacred Stones fan, I'm just gonna hope that hers is amazing as well. These are all crazy so far. Phantasm Tome. Accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1, grant speed +3. If unit initiates combat or a foe's HP is greater than or equal to 50% at the start of combat, inflict speed res -6 on foe, neutralizes foe's bonuses to speed and res, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by X% during combat. If unit initiates combat, X equals 80, otherwise X equals 30. I think that's normal. Oh, it's not. 70. And then it also has the enemy phase, I guess, built into it. Okay, so definitely a buff. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grants Spectrum +5 to unit, deals damage equal to 20% of unit's speed, reduces the percentage of foes' non-special reduced damage by X% skills by 50%, and neutralizes effects that inflict special cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. It's strong. It's definitely not as... It doesn't seem as strong as, like, Marth or Gatekeeper, but it is very helpful either way. The reducing the effectiveness of the foe's damage reduction skills is nice, and then neutralizing the guard effect will help her get her Requiem Dance off a bit easier. And then her survivability has increased because the damage reduction went from 70 to 80. But ultimately, it's fairly similar to what it was before, just with a few extra buffs behind that. The damage equal to 20% of her speed is nice. But yeah, that's nice. It's definitely not as crazy seeming as the others, but it's not bad. Not bad, not bad. And now, last but not least, is Erica. I use her all the time, and I'm very excited to see what we got here. Binding Reckonleaf. Accelerate special trigger cooldown count -1, of course, effective against armored and cavalry foes. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than or equal to 25%, grant Spectrum +5 to unit. Reduces damage from foes' first attack by 40%, and neutralizes effects to prevent units' follow-up attacks during combat. I think that's normal. Yeah, it went from 30% to 40%, but otherwise it's pretty much the same, I think. Okay. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grant Spectrum +5 to unit. Inflicts attack, speed, defense -X on foe. X equals 5 plus number of bonus effects active on foe. Oh, interesting. Max of 9. Okay, so if the foe has bonuses, she does more to them. Okay. Or she buffs herself more. Okay, either way. Neutralizes foes' bonuses to attack, speed, defense, and neutralizes effects that guarantee foes' follow attacks during combat. Okay. It's not bad. Again, they're not bad, but I feel like the girls got a little bit less than the guys did. Like, Marth got a whole essay. Gatekeeper became, like, support, like, to the max. But the girls really just got, like, a slight buff. And then a slight increase to their damage reduction, I guess. But otherwise, it's not insane. If unit initiates combat within 2 spaces of an ally, Spectrum +5, inflicts attack, speed, defense -X on foe. X equals 5 plus number of bonus effects active on foe. Max of 9. Interesting. Okay. So, that's weird, because bonus effects active on a foe implies that you kind of want them to have an effect, which I guess is not bad on, like, I guess with newer units that just, like, already have a big effect built into, like, their weapon and stuff, or, like, they have a pref skill. then she can do pretty well against them, like, outright. But going, like, based off, like, the ally or the opponent having a debuff feels like it would have made more sense with her default kit having attack speed menace. It's not bad. I'm gonna give it to her because I use her a ton, but I definitely feel like it could have been better. Yeah, I think the girls kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to the Brave weapon refines. Gatekeeper got insane as a support, and Martha's just crazy. And then obviously Helen Mirabilis got some decent buffs as well, and then Itsuki also is pretty solid. Yeah, I guess let me know what y'all thought about these updates, about this update, about these weapon refines. I think my excitement level kind of died down a little bit because I was really hoping for like an insane buff for Erica and Marianne, but we really didn't seem to get as much as I was hoping. Though it's not bad, but like competing with like newer weapon refines, there are definitely some units that get weapon refines that just don't really measure up to the ones there that are also getting refines in that same update. And this is a good example of that. But either way, I'm still happy. Like, they're very solid, and then the update is give me a free happy merge, which is nice. But yeah, overall, I'm not upset with the update. It is pretty decent, and it will definitely make the fans of like Marth and Gatekeeper, and also Itsuki, like very, very happy. But yeah, that's gonna be for the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. But until then, goodbye.